All right, day 9. Welcome to following along as I work my way through a 45-day program called Alignment. Which is a practice in returning to yourself daily. So yeah, we're on day 9. I still have one more pillar to complete. I'm going to do that before bed. I tried to do that earlier today and it was not happening. I actually got to be off today, which is not a usual day off for me. So it was kind of nice. I was like, great, I'm going to get all of these things done. And I had a moment where I'm like, okay, cool. I can do my spirit practice, my spirit pillar outside. It was like mid-afternoon. I'm like, this is going to be perfect for a little meditation, maybe a little bit of self-Reiki. Like, this is going to be great. Well, I started to, and then some neighbor decided they wanted to enjoy their afternoon outside too with their friend, having drinks, which I've got nothing wrong with drinks. I've got nothing wrong with having fun with your friends. But I will say my tolerance, patience level is kind of thin because and maybe that was a space for me to witness in myself too, like where I let myself get distracted, or like, is this a boundary or what? Because normally I think I would feel whatever, but I think these particular neighbors, they have parties like maybe every couple weeks, and it's like only this particular neighbor, they have parties quite often. And I figured I'm off. I'm like, on a not normal off day, and it's mid-afternoon, it's Friday afternoon, it's beautiful. So anyway, yeah, that's all that to say. I was like, yeah, no, this is a boundary. I'm taking it inside. So then I was feeling some type of way after that. But anyway, so that practice, that pillar, I'm still going to complete. I'm going to do that before bed. And then, so the heart practice, the heart pillar, I did get to spend some time before that, actually, before I got interrupted by my neighbors, by my own choice of letting it get interrupted. I did get to send love and Reiki to the land and Mother Earth for my heart pillar. And then the mind pillar, I did some breath work, some hypnosis reprogramming, and EFT tapping. So that's that. And then the body, I worked out. Now that one I have kind of a story for, because I did street parking garage, the workout for today, which was 4 rounds for time of wall balls, 25 wall balls, a 400-meter run, and 15 deadlifts. Now, I don't have wall balls. I don't have the height to do wall balls inside the garage, and I can't do it outside the garage. So I subbed that for single dumbbell thrusters. And it was hot. I would have wanted to work out a little bit later, but it was getting close to like dinner time and trying to plan that. And so I worked out, I think it was like 5:30 or something, like 5 or 5:30, which is, more evening for sure, but it was still hot here in California at the end of March. Spring, it was hot. I don't know what the temperature was, but it was hot. And started going through the workout. First 2 rounds was like cool. I'm like, great. 3rd round started feeling kind of sticky, and the mental talk started, and it was like, oh, maybe you could slow down, and it was like, okay, so I completed the 3rd round and did it close to how I was able to complete the first 2 rounds. Now the last round, because it was 4 rounds, right? Now the last round got really interesting because it's the last round. And I don't know if anyone else is like this, but it's the last round. I feel like typically what could happen is you go, well, it's the last round. You give it what you got. You give your everything left to this last round because you're done. Well, I noticed for me, and this probably can translate in other parts of my life, and maybe you can see this too, but I noticed for me, it was the last round. I mentally wanted to dial it back because it just felt so hard, and it was like, it's the last round. Like, instead of like, it's the last round, it felt like it was the last round, and it was hotter than it was, of course, because I'd been working out. And so I noticed the mental chatter come up so much more. And instead of, like, when I did the first part of it, which was the dumbbell thruster, excuse me, sorry, it's the end of the day. The dumbbell thruster, like, I started to, okay, this is a perfect moment to reprogram when you are in that challenging, sticky state on how to teach yourself resilience and like recalibration, right? And so I was like, great. So with every rep, when I was doing the thrusters, I was saying, instead of letting my mind go like, oh, this is hot, this sucks, my body feels this way, that way, I started saying, I'm capable. With every rep, I'm capable. And let me show you, it made it so apparent how much stickiness is in my thoughts, because that made it like sticky for me. And that was just so interesting to witness, because I was like, oh my God, girl, like, do it, you know? But that in that moment, I knew, I'm like, this is exactly where the reprogramming is, because I'll continue. Anyway, so then I went to go off on the run, and every part of me wanted to just walk this run. Every part of me wanted to just be like, oh, you just run for a little bit, you go slower. And I had to mentally be like, no, like, give it, not necessarily what you got, because I didn't have a lot left at that point, at least it felt like, but it was like, just stay moving. Just stay moving. If you let your foot off the gas now, like, your time is going to be so slow. You're making the work harder for you. Like, don't let your foot off the gas. Oh. And the run going out was like, okay, I finally did it. And then coming back, it was sticky. Let me tell you, it was so sticky, and it was so hot. And then it was time to do the deadlifts. And yeah, similarly, but we finished it. We got through it. So I bring this story up because it makes me think of, like, all right, well, where else, like, in the goals that I have and the things that I'm aiming for, like, where do I essentially let my foot off the gas when I'm like right there? Or where do you come up against those moments where it's like, I just want to quit? Like, I'm done. Like, I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. Only to realize, like, it's your last round. You're gonna finish. Like, you're just right there. And that's such a big reflection for me, because I feel like in my life and other areas currently, I'm feeling like, damn, it is really sticky right now. And it has me in some ways like second guessing. And so if I were to treat this as like, I am in the thick of the last round, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep going. So I hope this story has something for you in it. And I don't know, I just know for me that when I do these workouts, like, it's more than just like working out to look good or whatever, because I've let go of that paradigm a long time ago. And if that's something that you're still in, that's totally okay. But just know that there is more to it than just like working out for like how we want to look based off of what society is projecting onto us, how we should be looking, particularly also as women in my current experience, right? But yeah, so also just like society's fucking expectations on how people are supposed to look, and it is ridiculous. And so anyway, yeah, so that's gonna be the wrap up for day 9. So thanks for being here, and as usual, like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment for what you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow. Toodles.